Hello. Happy Monday, everybody. I am Laura Mester of Laura's Stamping Legacy Studio, and we are, excuse me for the adjustment, we are having one of our Makers Monday Lives. This is number 66. I'm sorry, this is number 61. That just rolled off my tongue way too easy. As we wait for people to join us, I'll just catch up on a few things that's been going on. I think everyone knows about the weather. It's summer, it's hot, but that's okay. It's supposed to be hot and summery. It's not supposed to be smoky though, but hot and summery, yes. I've been rooting for our baseball team here in town, the Reds. I think we do have other rosy Reds out there. I'm wondering where everybody is. No one's in yet. Someone will come in soon. Tonight we're going to have a card demonstration. Just a technique demonstration. It won't be a challenge card. So I've been prepping the things we need to do and the things we need to talk about. We just need a few people to come on in, and then we can start. But like I said, I'm Laura Mester, and I have been doing Makers Mondays for at least 3 years. And it's just a great way to keep in touch and to demonstrate some technique. And as I said, today for my customers, I'll be pulling a Stampin' Rewards drawing for those that had ordered under a host code. But before I do that, I will take a little time here to introduce a few things going on before we get people joining us. I think everyone knows that in July, we're having the bonus days. So during this special time of year in July for the entire month, if you spend $50, you'll earn $5 in coupons to be used in August on anything you wish to purchase. So that's one thing that's been going on this month. Most of my regulars are probably already aware of that. Oh, good. I can see that the live is working. I just wanted to check. If anyone's here, give me a thumbs up. Give me a like. Let me know you're here. Oh, hi, Sylvia. Thank you for joining. I can talk to myself quite well, but it's better when there's someone else with us. So I'm just biding a little time till people join in. We will do the drawing first. But if you're joining in, give me a thumbs up, say hi, let me know you're here. The next thing I want to just, talk about first before we get to the drawing is that there is a new paper pumpkin that will be our August paper pumpkin. So, and this one, oh, hi, Shirley, welcome in. So glad you're here. We will do our drawing before the technique, but until we get a few more people here, just sharing news. This paper pumpkin is the August 10th one. It is floral themed. As I know it's not a surprise. We do a lot of florals here at Stamping Up. But this paper pumpkin kit, the flowers it tells you what the meaning of the flower is as well, so that the person receiving it knows that, I believe. And it focuses on a lotus bloom, which represents overcoming challenges and encouraging those around you. And the other flower is the blue forget-me-nots, which I know a lot of people love those. And that is, of course, represents loyalty. It reminds you of your favorite memories of people. So that is the August paper pumpkin. It'll be 8 cards, and it comes with a bonus distinctive stamp. So that's going on as well. Give me a thumbs up. Say hello if you're out there. Share this. Let your friends know we're going to have a really fun card demonstration tonight. I don't know what you all have been up to. I think it's hilarious, but think about what was the funniest thing you said today, or the funniest thing that happened to you today, since we've got a little time waiting for people to come in. And I just was thinking and remarking about this up till about 5 minutes ago. I'm watching my granddogs, and they were in here all over me. My husband had run out. Luckily, he got home. But earlier today, I had to shout down the hallway, "Quit drinking that toilet water." So I think that was the funniest thing today. My son and his girlfriend got a new dog. So this dog has different habits that I'm not used to. So we've been having a lot of fun with that. I don't know if any of the rest of you have anything fun to share from your day. Let me check on comments down here so I can see what's going on. But I just thought that was fun to share, the things we do in the summer, right? But I'm always available for my grand dogs. But I needed to close the door, and it made me think of Sharon Timmers, because when I opened the door real quick to run out for the bathroom before I started, they're both right in front of the door waiting for me to come back out. So, love the pets, but once in a while, we need a little space to get something done. So, brief interlude. I'll keep going. We have 4 people, so we're getting up there. The one last thing I want to share. Oh, hi, Tanya. Welcome in. And I just posted this, and I just learned about this. Oh, wow. 100 bags of popcorn, Shirley. I think I'd be popcorned out for a while. I just shared this to our page, and it was just announced today. Today's the 17th, right? Yeah. They're doing a 24-hour stamp sale, and it's one day only, and it's July 19th, which is, today's the 17th. So what is today? Monday? So that's Wednesday. So we're having a 24-hour stamp sale, 15% off, and these are stamps in the 23-24 annual catalog. Yay, anniversary. Congratulations, Tanya. How many years? I forget. So put that down on your tickler for Wednesday. Pull out your wish list. If there were stamp sets you wanted, I had several on my list that I've been kind of holding off on and just hadn't gotten yet. Oh, wow. 26. Congratulations. That's a great number. But anyway, and I will be getting those on Wednesday. So I think I need to get the scientific stamp set for sure. It includes all the stamp sets in the 23-24 annual catalog, except for the host stamp sets at the very back. Those you have to get by hosting a workshop. But those will not be included. And those are the only 2. So that's good news to know. So, well, for those of you here, since everyone knows we're doing this tonight and what time, I'm not going to belabor this any longer. And I will turn down to do this. I'm going to do our drawing before we do the technique. Just because I know some people might have to get to things. And if you have time for the technique, that's great. And unlike other times when I do a demonstration, I do have a vacation coming up. So I'll be still available. If you need me, you can always message me and I'll be able to take care of things. I may not respond as well because I'm going to be sort of, what do they call that? Off the grid. So there'll be times when I won't be able to access things via my phone. So, but I can during the day. I'll be able to access them at some point. So I'm available, but I can't do my normal things I do every month. So we will not have a challenge card out of this demonstration this month. We'll have one in August, like we usually do during that live, just not for July. But anyway, let me get us turned down. Let me get my iPad situated. Talk amongst yourself for just a minute here. I have to switch to the screen that has the big wheel of names, and there's a lot of names on there. Thank you so much, everyone. Having that many names means that I had a lot of people place orders and support me, so I truly appreciate that. Let's go ahead and turn down. I don't think I need to do anything but go down here and swivel. There we go. So hopefully, yeah, and I can't see because I usually watch on my iPad, but now I'm using my iPad for the drawing. And again, thank you so much. This was a wonderful, wonderful host code reward. We had quite a few orders. Let's get out this way a little bit more. That might work. I'll have to tweak it for doing the demo later. But you all can see that. I think I'll stand up so I can work better. And we have the rewards, stamping rewards for this ended up being $114.83 and 50 half off item as well. So I will reach out to the winner after this, and we will talk about what you want with your winnings. So I want to wish everyone good luck. Everyone's names are on there. I actually had 10 ladies. I think it might be the highest number of ladies I've ever had. Lots of little names put in with corresponding with the amount you spent, $25 per chance. So once you had your order in. Good luck. Get our volume up. I hope it works. Sometimes the volume doesn't work sometimes it just doesn't work at all. No further ado, here you go. And there's no volume. Whee! The wheel spins, and the winner is Colleen. Colleen, you are our winner. Thank you so much for your order. I will be reaching out later. And that will be all we need here. So thank you, Colleen. Congratulations. And now we'll get on. If I can get back to the screen that shows me if we're lined up or not. Hold on, ladies. Okay. If I can make this work. I have to switch. Hold on, ladies. Okay, now I can see what's going on. Thank you for bearing with me. Anyone still there? I have to switch. Okay, now I can see what's going on. There we go. Thank you for bearing with me. Anyone still there? I have to switch. And I can hear myself, which is no good. Hold on. Why is the volume working then and not when we do the wheel? I need a tech person for this. And Colleen is someone that I met at your crop, Shirley. So I'm always thankful when I do a vending event and meet new people. It's great to meet new crafters, and she actually signed on as a demo for a while there. And she may have the chance for that again. I have to double check when she signed off. She definitely has enough rewards to put it toward a starter kit. But there's a stipulation. If you were one and you had signed out as one, which means you were no longer active, I think you have to wait a month before you could become an active demonstrator again. But for those of you that are hanging in here, thank you for hanging in. Oh, yes, it is Sean's friend. She comes down quite a lot for the FC Cincinnati games, but I think she lives north of here somewhere. But we're connected by the cyber world, of course, so I'll be reaching out to her. If someone wants to give her a shout out to come in and say hello, since you might have a way to connect with her faster than I can right now, Shirley. So here I am looking again to see. I try to read the comments, but it's hard when we're down. Sometimes easier when we're up. But you can talk amongst yourself. I always check later. These are the cards that I'm going to demonstrate. And as I said, I just wanted to show a fun technique since I was going live tonight. And you, if you complete these, please feel free to share your wonderful creations with us. But I'm too busy with my couple weeks that I head up north to my area that I grew up in upstate New York to be connected well enough to do a challenge this month. But this is a wonderful, fun technique, and if you want to complete it and share, I'd love that. I did this in two different ways. It has two names. One is Faux shutter technique, because it looks like you've taken a picture with a card, and the other is a fractured card is another name for this. And there are several ways to create this. I have done it the way that doesn't require nesting square dies. We do have nesting square dies, and there are technique. You can see if you happen to have those, and they're actually in the current catalog. They're the Stylish Shapes dies, and if you do not have, I do recommend if you don't have a nesting set of circle dies, for sure. I have a circle dies. I do not have square nesting dies. So now having made this card has me thinking of getting these dies, but it has 5 nesting square dies. I think 6 nesting circles. It's just wonderful dies to have. I have dies that I got well before I become the circle ones, before Stamping Up demonstrator. But you'll use these all the time if you do get these. So that's the other technique. I'm always cognizant when I do techniques that not everyone has all those things. So this is a way to do these without any specific dies or anything. So I do want to say I have all my dimensions here. We'll talk about that. You can do anything with this. The main thing of the technique is to have the shutter look with the strips, with the bits of paper around and in the middle. That's the main thing you need to do for this to be considered a fractured card or a faux shutter card. Now, whether you use DSP in the middle or whether you make it one that looks like a painting, you can do this either in black and white, or this one is sepia tone using early espresso ink. It's an easy way to do where you don't have to do all the coloring, and I was kind of in a rush with things, so that worked for me this time. I've also seen people decorate these with, down here you could put dies and decorate down here, and instead of having the sentiment, put the sentiment somewhere else. And this one, of course, the sentiment goes right on it. So that's alternate ways to finish. But let's get into the guts of how to create this. So, as always, with all my technique cards, I will post the dimensions later. The base is your basic 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. You'll need 2 panels, one to work on as your base on the front. That's 4 by 5. Can't be 5.5. It's got to be 5 1/4. Hold on, girls. It means I got to fix my picture that I made. And this one does too. Sorry about that. But this would be 4 by 5 1/4. And the inside flap is going to be 4 by 5 1/4 as well. So I'll post all this later, don't worry. Then the central piece of your card needs to be 2 1/4. Well, you can make this a couple different sizes. I made it 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 when I used the designer series paper. When I used a image that I'd either stamped and colored or just stamped, I made it a little larger. I made it 2.5 by 2.5, and I'll explain why as we create the card. I wanted more of my image to show. And when you look at these, you'll notice that one has a bigger aperture. I'm using the word from photography, but that's what the center part is. An aperture is the area that you can see through in the camera. Correct, Tanya? I don't know if you're still here, but you're a photographer. So this is a smaller aperture. And these strips actually lay over that little square. So this is 2 1/4 by 2 1/4, and then you'll need these strips of cardstock that match your base. That'll be 1/4 by 5.5. And the 5.5 is kind of, these are laid down around it. You'll need them to be a good 4 inches or more. So, and then you'll need pieces of paper that you'll put into these areas. So that's, depending on what you do with your card, that's that. So these are all the bits. We're going to set those aside. I have another whole one here to work from. And we'll create one quick. It won't take that long. It looks complicated, but it's simple. And that's the best kind of card, right? Yes, Sylvia, that'll be awesome. I can't wait. If you're still on here, who's still here? Say hi if you're still here, somebody. So I know who's still there. I know we lost a bunch of people. We did the drawing and there they went. But this takes a little while, so I understand that people are busy. So the first thing you want to do is get your front base. And I find it useful to have a grid working off of so that you can kind of line things up. So take your center one, and then I think I'll use glue for this. And then you're going to need to put this down. I'm trying to think what's the center here. I was working on a different thing before. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, you can just kind of eyeball it, really. You kind of want to be in from each side about 1/2 and about 3/4 down. Eyeballing works just fine. I am going to use glue on this one here. I always like glue. There is our Tombow glue, but I do want to tell you right now, in making this, you're going to need a fine tip glue. And if you don't have a fine tip glue, you could use maybe mini glue dots. Fine tip glues are any kind of glue that has the little metal end to it, because it's much finer. I think I ordered these online a while back and used them. And this is actually one, and I filled it with the Tombow glue. This is actually a larger version I've had forever. We did sell a fine tip glue pen. I forget if we still do. I never quite mastered ours. And if you don't want to use glue, you could put mini glue dots. That will be for the strips. And I sometimes use glue for other things, but you could use snail runner for this as well. So I'm just going to get a little glue on here. This works just like regular Tombow, and it is Tombow glue in there, which is our multi-purpose glue. So go ahead and figure out how you want it. Line it up. Just guesstimate a little bit over. And the reason why I like to use glue is you can kind of move things around just a little bit. So that's good enough for this. Then get one of your strips. And this is the tricky part on these. I'm going to apologize right now because I'm going to end up leaning into the shot. I'm going to start with the corner on the left side. Take your strip, lay it against the outside edge of there's a little lip here because you glued that piece on. So line it up there. And this is just for creating a line this way. Take your glue, and you're going to want to put that right on top, right along there. It's on top of that center square. And you're going to do a little bead of glue, not very much at all. You never need much. Bring it right along, okay? You take your strip, and you've got glue here. Now, I know it's hard to see because that's white, but there is glue on here. Make sure your end is right up against this, right up against there. Lay it down. You can feel if you have it in the right spot or not. I might be a little challenged because I'm trying to do this and not block your view of it. But I don't know if you can see this, if we've got enough light up here. I'm hoping we do. Let me move this and we might get a little more light to come down. There you go. And it's actually that the edge of the square is underneath. So we put the strip on top of the square. And you're going to go all around doing that. So get your next strip, lay it down, and that's so you can get the line of your glue in the right spot. Just bring a little glue along, all the way down again, just like we just did. And then you just stick it again so that it's on top of that square right at the edge. And just keep doing that. Make sure it connects completely. Okay. Next one. Just keep going. I need to change my paper trimmer. It's got some of those. Is there a name for that when you cut your paper? Your paper blade is ready to be changed, and you get these little paper dust bunnies all along the edge. I'm not a fan of paper dust bunnies. They end up in places they probably shouldn't. Okay. Go ahead and put that on. You might get a little gluey when you're doing this project. It might be helpful to have a little wet rag around, or maybe a wet one, baby wipe. So you can feel if it's up against there. Real quick, see how easy this goes? Hi, Shirley. I see you're still there. Thanks for still tuning in. How much popcorn at a time? How many batches of popcorn did you... Because I know you said 100 bags. Is that just one time through with that machine, or is that like all day long with that machine? Everybody loves popcorn. This one went right across the other strip. Did you see that? Don't be afraid of that. Just go up and over it. It'll flatten out for you. Just make sure all your things are lined up. And then, if for these, I snip these off. For the next ones, you can always use your paper trimmer. So, I need more light. I apologize, girls. Sometimes it gets too bright for you. So, I just snip along, snip them all off. Just try to get them as close to it as you can. So, okay, that all comes off. That's all trash. You see, some of those were quite short in the end. Some of those were not. Can hear my dogs outside the door. 8 batches, 5 pounds of popcorn kernels. That's a lot of popcorn. Probably smell like a carny. I hope that's not a derogatory term. A carnival person. It's just something that don't mean it as one. It's just people that work for a carnival, right? All right, there's your central piece. This paper, by the way, was, I should point that out for people that are watching later. Oh, hold still. That's a gorgeous paper, and it's one of our new ones in the catalog. That paper is from the Masterfully Made. So it's a 12 by 12 set of paper, 12 by 12 of paper. And it's just gorgeous. Gorgeous colors, and a lot of the new colors. One other paper I'm using, just to point out real quick while I'm thinking about paper. This gold, this distressed gold in this one. This is still in our, this was such a simple card. And this just really, really brings a lot to it. And it's only $5 for the 2 sheets. It's in our catalog now as well. So before I go any further, I wanted to point those 2 out to you. We talked about the dies, the paper, the page like this is what has all those specialty papers on it. It's page 127. Adds a lot, just a little adds a lot. I can get to see the comments again. Here we go. So that's done. Next thing you want to do is get your panels that go into there. For this one, I left one blank to stamp, and I embossed these pieces here out of the Lemon Lime Twist. So then all you're going to do is get your runner and put that there. Fit it right in like you're putting. I love making puzzles. Maybe that's why I love this card. And put that in and go ahead and trim it. You can trim it with a paper trimmer, or you can just cut it. I'm just going to cut it with my scissors. I'm fairly proficient at this. Watch me make a mistake now. If you ever cut, you can always use your paper trimmer to cut the entire length of that. If you make a miscut, you're in charge of everything when you craft. It's the only time. Take advantage of it, girls. There's that one. Where is everybody tonight, Shirley? I mean, I thought we'd have at least 10. Everyone's busy. It's summer. Let's see. That's not going to work. But if I trim it, it will. So let me use my paper trimmer real quick off camera here. Trying to think of what else been going on. I know I've been going to the reds a lot. There are some areas of shade, but it is hot when you're at that ballpark, Shirley. You are. Today. In fact, the game's going on right now. Oh, Donna's out of town. Okay. I need a Reds update. You got to turn the radio to 700 for me there, Shirley, and get me an update. They brought somebody up from Louisville again. One of Ellie's friends, apparently. Maybe it'll settle him down. Like when you put a comfort animal in the stall with a horse. All right. That's this. I'm going to make, I've made some of these already. I can see making some Christmas cards like this. Because look how easy. Really simple. Look at that. So there's your front panel. So I'm not going to go further than that. You don't need to watch me. I'll stamp like I did on this one. I'll finish it off by stamping. And then I will just adhere it onto here. And then it creates that faux look. And you can finish them any way you want. And then I also have a panel that I've finished for the inside, which I'll do on my other one as well. You could, if you wanted to, before you glued down the front, you could put a ribbon around there. You most certainly could. But like I said, this is not a challenge card. It's just here's a wonderful technique. Use it if you want to. I'd love it if you did. I did talk about, I went through it quickly, but I talked about if you didn't want to use glue, you could put a line of little glue dots down alongside your lined up strip there, because they're small enough to hide under there. So, because I know you don't like using glue, Shirley. So this is a tip for you specifically. You'd have to take your little glue dots and put them, probably about 4 of them down there. Make sure there's one on each end for sure. The longer one, maybe more. So, and these come together much quicker than when I show you on the air. So, but I'm going to go ahead and turn this up. Oh, and before I do, if you want to do one that, this to me really, this looks like a fractured card to me, like a puzzle card. When you do the picture in the middle, it does look like the faux shutter. And I did go bigger, like I said, because once you put the strip on top. So you may be able to do this easier if you had those square dies. But if you don't, and if you want to stamp this, my tip to you, and where is it? It's hiding over there, is to use the Stamparatus. Because then when I was stamping this on the Stamparatus, I was able to put a grid paper in there and line my paper up so that it was at the diagonal instead of, square across the other way. That way I got the image going the way I wanted to cut it down. Or I guess you could just do it normal and twist it. Sometimes my mind doesn't work that way though. So let's turn up. I really don't have a whole lot more to say. We'll just say goodbye. So hang tight. All right. Yes, I will put the measurements in the comments for sure, and I'll make sure I correct that one that I had the wrong measurement. You all would have figured that out. And I think I did want to say that the next live, for those of you, and I'll probably talk to you all before then, but the next live will be August 14th, and I will demo a challenge card at that time. So, and Colleen, if you've watched this from before, I'll probably tag you in here. I need to reach out to you within this evening probably so that we can settle this out tomorrow. Because of me going out of town, it may be tricky. I don't go out of town till the 20th though. So I'm here for the stamp sale. Hooray! That's really great. But thank you for being here, Shirley, and thank you. Someone else is watching as well. Stay cool and stay crafty, everybody, all right? I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.